BSJ, are you telling me that all the shards you said were really good got nerfed? Or at least a lot of them? Yes, I did. Yes. BSJ, I should watch your YouTube videos. Wait, you're already watching one.
Banana slam jam.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We got ourselves another patch review slash meta update. So it looks like they actually tweaked a lot of heroes in 7.29b. They gave a little dose of buffs to some of the ones that needed it, and a little dose of nerfs to the other ones that needed those as well. So we're going to talk about what happened in this patch, and we'll just give like any brief insight on anything, I feel like needs explanation to maybe people who haven't played the patch, maybe they haven't seen enough to know like why a hero's getting buffed or nerfed. So HMH base armor, I think with the Battle Fury nerf, he was hurt a little bit too much, so I think that's probably why. Bat Rider still hasn't been buffed since that dump string he received last patch, so I think this is completely understandable. If they're going to completely remove his ability to use Sticky to secure CS, then you have to give him base damage. I think that it just has to happen. The Beastmaster Axis build has become the meta for Beastmaster. So the timing is just ridiculous. You get it at like 14 minutes or something, and you just have this insane damage output. So they're just nerfing it a little bit. I think that's good. I said this shard was going to get nerfed. Honestly surprised it's not nerfed more. It'll probably get nerfed again. The shard makes you have damage reduction when you're invis. And you can't dispel the invis, so it's damage reduction you can't dispel. So pretty broken. Not surprised they already nerfed it. Broodmother getting a little buff to her ult, and a little rework, or like making sure this does. I guess this didn't used to matter that much, but now that you get this ability like early on, using this on denies would be pretty nuts. Now that I think about it, you'd like lifesteal on denies. So okay, whatever nerf to dazzle doesn't really matter. Honestly, Death Prophet's buff is pretty insane. So in the mid to late game, or even like mid game, like 10 minutes. You're like spamming Crypt Swarm to farm, and suddenly you're getting about 4 Crypt Swarms per 3 that you used to get in terms of mana cost. Like 4 is now 500 mana instead of 3 being 480. I would say this is a pretty significant buff to Death Prophet. I don't think she was particularly horrible. They nerfed her a lot in 7.29, but I don't know if they necessarily needed to do this. The Doom buffs, very confusing to me. Maybe his win rate in pubs are bad? But he was getting picked in competitive, like first round, in the Alliance series, as well as some other series that I saw. So keep an eye out. Pretty sure Doom is going to be absolutely nutty. This makes you have 7 Devours for every 6 that you used to have. So if you're maxing Devour, it's 240 gold. You're getting 240 GPM instead of like 200. I mean, it's just an extra 40 GPM for Doom. I'd say that's a lot. And then they also buffed his damage on his ult. Why? I actually don't know. I don't know why. Drow received early game nerfs to her frost arrows. She benefits a lot from the stats change. You level up stats like level 2 and just hit people with arrows. So it looks like they're just trying to nerf her early game laning stage a bit. So this is apparently a physics number that Reddit was memeing about. And I actually don't know what physics number that is. But if you're wondering what the fuck this is, it's a physics meme or some shit. So kudos to Reddit. You have impact in the Dota world. Ember Spirit. This helps you secure some CS, I guess. But it's pretty minimal. You have like 60 base damage. Instead of hitting creeps for 30, you hit them for 36. I mean, in the lane. I guess like maybe this actually matters later. It's Euler's number. I see. It's E. I see. I didn't know that. I guess, yeah, E is 2.7. Okay. I always thought of it as 2.71. I didn't even think about it. I guess 2.72. Okay, yeah, it's E. That's cool. I use that number a lot, so that's probably bad. Speaking of my college education, I don't know what that number is. Okay, so creep damage. Might actually matter later, like if you go like Battle Fury or something. I'm really not sure. The Grimstroke Inkswell, definitely a huge, like he had a really good shard. So much needed nerf to the shard. I think it's still probably pretty good though. And then he nerfed his level 10 talent. Yeah, Grimstroke was a bit overtuned. He was being picked like first round every game in competitive. So definitely needed. Hoodwink, definitely think they over nerfed her a bit. Haven't seen her at all in competitive. And pubs, she's rather scarce as well. So giving her a little bit of love. I think she's honestly decent though. Giving some talent, some love as well. Huskar, because of 7.29, he got the armlet buffs, the satanic buffs, just all the buffs. His shard got buffed. Just so much going on for Huskar. His win rate went up like crazy. I honestly think at the highest level, he's not that great. Like at the absolutely highest level, like he's viable, but he's not like great. But in pubs, I could see him, massacring people. So nerfed him a little bit here, nerfed him a little bit here, nerfed him a little bit here. No major nerfs, but it adds up. Nerfed his talents as well. I don't know why they did this. Like, the shard seems like a meme. You can just dodge it, so I don't think this is enough to make it not dodgeable, but, like, you just walk between the meteors. But if it's enough, then it'd be really good. Coddle, getting some early game love, but honestly seems kind of mediocre ever since they removed recall from his ultimate by default. I think the ultimate's just not as impactful. Konka, getting some base stats. Base stats are incredibly strong in the laning phase. I've already been trying out Omni Knight, who got some base stats last patch, and it makes a huge difference on these heroes. It makes a huge difference, giving them a little bit of move speed, a little bit of armor, especially on these melee strength dudes who get kited / bullied in the early game. X marks the spot is a huge buff, 38 seconds to 24. And then also the lower cooldown at max level. So it's just a huge buff to X marks the spot. I'm kind of surprised. Way back when Kunkka was broken, X marks the spot was why. I think we'll be seeing a lot of Kunkka. I actually think the Kunkka buffs are incredibly relevant and might put him over the edge. He might even be like really good. He likes a lot of the items too. Shadowblade got buffed. Armlet got buffed. Yeah, I think we could see a lot of Kunkka. Legion Commander. She was getting played as a support, so that means the shard's probably an issue. Lifestealer. He basically became like the new cheese carry. I was talking about how Lifestealer and PL are like the cheese carries of 7.29. And what that means is if you don't have like a way to deal with them in your lineup, you just lose. Like you guaranteed lose. I've lost like 3 or 4 games to both these heroes, and it was just like, our offlane and carry are countered by Lifestealer, and then we just lose. So Lifestealer was definitely just a little bit overtuned. They gave him free damage in his Feast, which once you leveled Feast, it was the same damage to mitigate the nerf to his base damage. So now they're like, okay, Lifestealer was a bit too strong. Let's bring him back down to Earth here. So they also nerfed the Lifesteal from Feast. It all adds up, man. I think Lifesteal will still be pretty good, though. Lena. I think Lena's probably the biggest breadwinner of 7.29B. When the stack duration was only 10 seconds, seems like a small buff, but the cooldown of Light Strike Array was the same. So you couldn't refresh Fiery Soul with Light Strike Array. So your level 2 was just really weak. You couldn't build stacks of Fiery Soul with your level 2 as a support. So, in mid lane, a lot of times Lenas go for their Dragon Slave, but I think these buffs, they even buffed the radius. So I'm pretty sure Lena's dope. You can hear it here first. I'm pretty sure 4-position Lena is insanely good now. Spirit Bear. Okay, a little bit tankier. Koikfa's back. A little bit more duration on Savage Roar. These things add up. Maybe Lone Druid will be a hero. Not really sure. Oh, talent buff too. I don't know too much about Lone Druid, but I didn't see him at all. So I have to assume he's not that great. Lycan, ever since the Necrobook removal, kind of got the shaft. So Lycan has really bad base armor. I feel like the lore is lying, because they told me wolves don't need armor, but Valve seems to think otherwise, Ice Frog. So they gave his wolves a slow, which kind of helps a bit because the Necrobook was the way to slow people. The health of the wolves is now more. I kind of want to try Lycan again. Giving him all these base stats seems like he could be really nice. They nerfed Battle Fury and stuff. I feel like Lycan might actually be a hero, You get a Helm of the Dominator, maybe even rush the Helm of the Dominator or Helm of the Overlord. I could honestly see this hero being they buffed his cooldown reduction, his talents. Lycan might be insane. I feel like he might be better than he looks. I'm gonna try him out and carry a little bit. Look at all these buffs. Look at the duration on his ultimate, 28 seconds. Yeah, they made it less speed. I almost feel like you can farm with this ult. It's so long. Pop it like a Sven ulti and just kill some jungle creeps. The problem is you're, like, dead, like, if you get ganked. I'll have to try Lycan out. I'll do a little bit of theory crafting. I feel like he might actually be okay. People just don't know how to adjust to no Necrobook. Magnus getting a little bit of a buff. Kind of surprising. I've actually seen a lot of them in my EU games, and I think because of the Battle Fury nerf and the Empower buff that we'll see Mag. Medusa. Okay, apparently she was good. Or something. This definitely needed a little bit of love. Monkey King Shard was originally, like, really good, and then it got nerfed, and then all these other shards got ridiculously buffed, and Monkey King in 7.29 kind of got destroyed. They nerfed pretty much all of his spells. Giving him a little bit back. I don't mind it at all. I think the hero's still pretty mediocre, though. Mainly the Ags nerf really adding up, like, just all the little nerfs on Monkey King throughout last patch and 7.29. Nature's Prophet, a little bit of base movement speed. Really nice for him, being a ranged hero that really the only way to deal with him is to kill him, because he just trades so well in laning phase. So, this adds up, the 5 movement speed. You'll get away from ganks you otherwise wouldn't have, or, like, not ganks, but skirmishes in the laning stage. Then they also made his Trance do 16.666 repeating % more damage at max level. That's a lot. Especially when you get the talent that makes them do more damage, so you're multiplying that, and then yada yada yada. So yeah, it's I think Nature's Prophet will see some play. Spike Carapace Stun. I saw some meme on Reddit that you can now permastun people with an Octarine core if you have the tier 4 neutral item. Timeless Relic. If you have the Timeless Relic, you can permastun people with the bonus duration and the Octarine core. When you have Ags, you can Ags permastun people. So that sounds like a nice meme. Check it out before it gets nerfed. Base damage increased by 2 for PA, and the Stifling Dagger cooldown went from -1.5 to -2 or -2. I don't know. PA's getting a lot of love. The Battle Fury nerf, I think, hurt her a lot. I think PA Mag is actually going to be a thing. I think we'll start seeing this in competitive. I think you can try it out in your pubs, even Mag position 5. I don't think it has to be a Mag mid or anything. I think Mag 5 with PA, as well as on Dire, especially. It's really easy to stack those 3 camps on Dire, at least 2 of them a minute. So I think Mag PA is something you guys could try out. 5 position Mag, 1 position PA, get those super early stacks going with the Empower. Phantom Lancer, as I said, is the other super nerf, or like super cheese hero that had to get nerfed. Base damage by 2, still respectable base damage, but it hurts. Base armor by 1. I mean, his laning phase is looking a little bit rougher. I think he always had a bit of a struggle to get off the ground. Usually when PLs are losing, it's because their early game goes to shit. So nerfing his laning stage is definitely relevant. Shard no longer increases the cast range by 200. Shard damage reduced back down to 40. Shocker, why'd they fucking buff that shit in the first place? And then Shard bounce range reduced to 750. So quick maths, 7.5 squared is like 55. 9 squared is 81. So this is like a 33% nerf to how far his, or like the AoE that his lance will bounce. It's like pretty big. It's pretty big to nerf something from 900 radius to 750. So I think the shard will still be good. I think you still buy it. Like it's still 60% damage on that illusion. But the cast range plus the shard bounce definitely hurts. So I think the hero got adequately nerfed, I believe. They also nerfed his Phantom Rush by a little bit of agility. They gave his evasion talent to level 15, which is just like you'd rather take the Spirit Lance CD, I think. And I don't think you necessarily want the health most games. The thing about evasion is it's scaled really well, so you have the choice between the scaling or the quick acceleration of farm from the attack speed. I don't think you ever take the health. I think these talents are strictly worse, like to have it oriented this way. So I think it's a nerf to PL. Puck got her 10 talent nerfed. Okay. Whatever. I guess level 1 goes up by 0.2. Probably matters. Shadow Demon getting some love on his level 1 disruption. Looks like a nice 1-point wonder now, 11-second duration. Well, the thing is that sometimes when abilities get super buffed at level 1, that allows people to take them early, which allows them to max it. So maybe Shadow Demon just maxing Q in lane, or it would be a thing. You're getting 11 seconds of illusions at level 1. That's a long time. That is a long time. I think Shadow Demon might... I mean, Shadow Demon is one of the most annoying heroes in all of Dota. I hate this hero. Like, he's at the highest level. Like, when you play against really good Shadow Demon players, holy crap, this hero's annoying. Demonic Purge. Okay. I think Shadow Demon might be C-play. Might see, like, the Shadow Demon combos, the Lunas, the Terrorblades. Sniper. Surprised this hero hasn't seen any play yet, honestly. I think the take aim change was really nice for him. Sven, getting some early game love. Because of the Battle Fury nerf combined with this, I think the hero might actually be good. Techies, base attack speed reduced, and Suicide no longer gives you a TP. The Suicide no longer giving you a TP seems like a really big nerf to Techies. I didn't even know it worked like that. But that sounds like a really big nerf. TP scrolls are super expensive early. And if you were able to get a free regen, like, you know, just killing yourself and then coming back, that would be really strong. So I don't think it should work that way, so I'm glad they changed it, but that definitely sounds really strong. So I was seeing a decent amount of techies in my games, and I'm glad, you know, they're nerfing him. Get him out of my games. Nobody likes techies, except for the people playing it. Meld. TA getting a little love. Honestly, this talent might be sick. It's probably like one of those talents where it's like, you don't take it, but it makes your level 26 way stronger. But maybe it's so good, I don't actually know. Psyblade's range. Does that mean you just get more attack range? I guess so, huh? Attack range on TA is no joke. Mana cost, whatever, not a huge deal. Flamethrower was definitely way too good on Timbersaw. If you hadn't seen it yet, so a little bit of a nerf. Ursa getting a random agility buff. Every 5 levels, you have that extra 1 attack speed, 1 damage. Woo! And by level 30, you will have 1 extra armor. Poggies! Urshock. Shard got nerfed, though. The Shard was definitely really good. If you watch my Shard tier list video. BSJ, are you telling me that all the Shards you said were really good got nerfed? Or at least a lot of them? Yes, I did. Yes. BSJ, I should watch your YouTube videos. Wait, you're already watching one. Okay, Weaver. Base intelligence increased by 4. Base agility increased by 3. Attack animation reduced, so it means you attack faster. I mean, Weaver base stats, man. They gutted this hero when they made his Sakuchi capped out at 550. But you gave him 3 attack speed, 3 damage. You gave him more int to work with. So you have more Sakuchis in lane. Feels like the hero's still meh. Maybe this will make him a support, to be honest. Usually when you increase the base stats, it makes him more likely to just be a support. I mean, Weaver's still pretty much the same support. But I don't think Weaver's... I think he's still gutted too much by the movement speed cap changes. I think he relied way too much on running at 800 move speed. Winter Wyvern. Arctic Burn nerfed a little bit. And cooldown on Winter's Curse also nerfed a little bit. Yeah, she got some... Yeah, you guys hear that? The fundamental videos are really helpful. She got a little love during 7.29. I didn't necessarily believe she had to be nerfed, but understandable. These nerfs aren't too big a deal. So yeah, I gave some individual reviews on these heroes. I think... I'll just give like a quick 1 or 2 heroes per role. So when it comes to offlane, I actually think the sleeper picks for me are Omni Knight with the Solar Crest that you spam. They didn't nerf or buff any items. I think Solar Crest is still like the most broken item in Dota right now. I haven't talked about that on YouTube, but I think Solar Crest is insanely good. So I think like Omni Knight, Slardar are actually 2 of my favorite heroes right now in the offlane. I think they're really strong. Maybe with the Lifestealer nerf, Slardar goes down in value. Usually I like heroes that are good against what's good. 4 position, I think Lena is going to be the new hot thing. You heard it here first. I'm almost certain Lena's going to be really good. Mid lane, I think Death Prophet's going to be back with that buff. I think Leshrac is still insanely strong, and people have not necessarily given it a chance. And those are going to be my 2 picks. You know, I'm not saying these are like the only heroes that are good, but I think these are heroes you should definitely try. In the safe lane, I think 5 position, Mag is going to be my sleeper 5. I think Mag is going to see a lot of play, and I think Mag is insanely good with the Empower buffs and Battle Fury nerfs, so I think Mag will see a lot of play. And then I'm actually going to say that maybe Shadow Demon. I think Shadow Demon buffs are pretty insane, so I'm going to go with Shadow Demon for that. And then in the 1 position, PL and Lifestealer got knocked down a rung. I think Gyrocopter is insanely strong. I think Slark actually has a good place in this meta. I think Slark was really bad against PL. You know, he wasn't as pickable, but with the PL nerfs, I think he goes up a lot in value. The Diffusal buffs and such for him. I'm going to be looking to play some Slark. I haven't actually gotten to play him yet. And I also want to add to my 5 position pool, Faceless Void. I called it the day the patch came out. Dubu's been doing it. I've seen it. I've lost to it. If you want some good memes, Faceless Void 5 position, 141. You can go like Meteor Hammer, you can go Solar Crest, you can go Aura items. Try it out, guys. It's pretty freaking funny. So that's it for me. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed a little bit of my review on 7.29b, and I'll see you guys in future videos with more updates. If you liked this video, please like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that shenanigans, because at the end of the day, YouTube does care about that. You may not care about it, I may not care about it, but the YouTube algorithm does. So please do.